Hi, this is Debbie Bailey, and this is my witnessing video from early May 2024. I uploaded the first 14 minutes that I was there, uncut, unedited, just loaded it up. Because I wanted you guys to finally see what happens when I go to SeaWorld San Diego, and Corky has deemed it too long since I've been there last, and she is displeased with me and how it takes a while for her to warm back up, let me know that she's displeased, and then forgives me. So that all played out. And Corky and Ike were also very hungry. That played into part of it. And so when she finally came over to where the sprays are, and she was getting her body and her tail massaged, she could have easily just have, slid down and swam off, in a straight line. She did not. She stayed, she came down, stayed, angled her body slightly, raised her tail in the air, and then just slapped down right in front of my face. Bad girl, you're gone too long. But then immediately she turned around and came right towards me, forgiveness, and we were good from that point on. Ike was a complete and total doll the entire time. He knows how close I am with Corky. That's good enough for him. So he has completely embraced me. So that's that. And now here's my witness video. I have a lot to tell you guys. There's a lot of reasons why that barricade was up for 6 months. There's a lot different in there. There used to be 2 steps and a little wall. Okay? Where I am used to witnessing for these orcas, they would get up and on the second step and roll over and look me in the eye, and the wall was shorter. It's not that way no more. Right where I stand now, there's no step at all, just a wall that's new, higher. They cannot look me in the eye like before. No more. The walkway is wider. They've pushed it out and made it wider, pretty much all the way around. And then the back wall is, I don't even know how to describe it. Here's the picture of it. Make of it what you will. But I believe that there are reasons why this was done. Number one, to separate the orcas even further from the people that do not pay to go to the Dine with Orcas show. And number two, back before they did this, some of the orcas would use those steps and that shorter wall. They would be able to rise up and, partially put their weight on that plexiglass. And I think that caused some of the structural damage. If you look at these pictures, they cannot do that anymore. Okay? No orca is going to leap over those sprays and, right? And even if they did, there's all the indentation, deeper indentations, I mean, it's not going to happen. They're not going to be putting their weight on that wall. And here, once we were all good and stuff, here are some pictures of, this is Corky, and she's trying to make eye contact with me the old way. This is Corky trying the old way. Doesn't work. So she had to back up, and this is new eye contact from Corky. This is how we have to do it now. And Ike was the same. Ike tried it the old way, didn't work, right? And so then he had to back up, and he had to try it the new way. Okay. And while I'm sitting there and, I got Corky off in the distance, not, she sees me, here she is in the distance, and she can see me, but she's not coming to me. And while all this stuff is going on and I'm watching this and going through all this, I'm listening to these people that are coming to the Dine With Tank. And these are pictures of Ike. I'm showing you pictures of Ike now. On his immediately coming to greet me, coming to say hi to me. And they're just saying the most stupidest things. Really, I can't believe these people. But once we're all good and Corky has forgiven me and we're good and we're trying to figure things out, and somebody said something so ignorant and cruel, stupid, asinine, and cruel. And it just got me seeing red. And that's at the end of near the end of the 14 minutes where I said, because I always try to keep my cool. I'm going to go and I can't wait to see who's in the performance tank. And I'm seeing red, and, I'm legally blind. And another problem I have is my allergies in my eyes. And so they're working, and I'm looking down at Corky and Ike, and I can't even see them. I can see black blobs, And that's when I said, I hope I didn't mix up Orchid and Corky. But I knew as soon as I saw that dorsal, it was Corky. I wasn't thinking right, and I had to get out of there. And so I eventually did make it to the performance tank. But what I did first is I went into a restroom. I rinsed out my eyes. I put my eye drops in, and I calmed down because I was so angry. And then I made it to the performance tank, and this is what I see. This is what I see. Not one spray on. Completely empty. No reason, no incentive for any orca to come in there whatsoever. So I start calling out orcas' names. Eventually, 3 orcas came into the tank. They came in, they left. And then they came in as a pair. 2 of them came in swimming around the tank as a pair. And 1 came alone swimming around the tank. But they never came out of the water. They never came to greet, to connect. Nothing. All of this construction, all of this disruption, all of this noise, all of this changing of the schedules, it has had a very negative effect on all of them, and none of them are acting the same. And I'm guessing it had the most stress on Yuli and Corky because they're wild caught. And I know Corky wasn't able to do her laps, her regiment, like she likes to do. And one of the things that deeply disturbed me was seeing Ike laying on his side. It's the first time I've ever seen that. Like Keat. Keat is a depressed orca. Like the pro caps like to call him lazy boy. SeaWorld likes to say he needs motivation to perform, which is just another way to say he's lazy. I don't believe any of this. None of it. I believe Keat's a depressed orca. So I did not like seeing Ike like this. But I think it's a residual effect from all that they've been through. I think it will pass in time. And I went back down. I took a quick trip underneath, and here's the picture of underwater viewing. I want to see if there were fish there. There were no fish there. I don't know what this gray blob is. I talked to Kelly. I showed the picture to Kelly. That's not rocks. I don't know what that is. So real quick, out of there. And then I go back up, and I'm hanging out with Corky and Ike. We're just hanging out. And then a woman trainer comes with 6 people who obviously have paid extra money to listen to this woman. And it's just lie after lie after lie coming out of this woman's mouth. And then finally she says, well, you know, Corky can't be the matriarch of the pod anymore because she's too old, so she's been retired. And I just snapped. And I said, what? I said, look, Granny was the matriarch of J-Pod. When she was over 100 years old, nobody ever retired her. I said, and this is not a pod. All 6 people are looking at me, including the trainer, and I'm, all these things are running through my mind, and I just, but she was quick, the trainer. She said, things are different in captivity. No kidding, you frickin' moron. Everything's different in captivity. I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. And I just went back over to Ike and Corky where they were, and I sat there. And they were off, looking at me together. And I'm thinking to myself, it's not going to be my videos. It's not going to be my witnessing. It's going to be my big, fat mouth not being able to keep it shut sometimes. It's going to get me banned out of here. So I'm sitting there bound and determined, no matter what I hear come out of this woman's mouth, I'm not going to say another word. And then she said the most provocative thing, truly. Okay? She said, the females at SeaWorld San Diego that are still of childbearing age, they're on low-dose birth control. But if an accident were to happen, obviously SeaWorld would let that orca carry her calf to term, and the baby would be born here in SeaWorld San Diego. We are trying to keep these orcas to be the last generation of orcas at SeaWorld San Diego. But, if an accident happened, well, then, So now I'm like, everything's red again. I'm shaking inside. And I'm just a mess. And Corky could feel it. And she's looking right at me, and she slapped her tail. And, because she knew I was a mess. So she slapped her tail so I would pay attention to her. And it was during this time that she offered me her face. She brought her face completely up and out of the water. Which she doesn't do that if she's not performing underwater viewing or in the big performance tank. She won't do it. But she gave me her face during this time. And I can report that her infection on her lower jaw, her lower lip, it's completely healed. And I'm very, very happy for her. But see, like, this statement she made, I wouldn't be surprised in a few months that we hear that Kalia or Shuka is accidentally pregnant. See, because this whole 7 years of propaganda of Orca Encounter, it's worked for them brilliantly. Everybody loves SeaWorld again. And they voluntarily stopped breeding. It's not against federal law. That's why the Swims Act is so important. The Democrats need to take the House of Representatives back. so that that bill, the SWMS Act, can come back to the House floor of Representatives, get passed, keep the Senate blue, keep Joe in office, and help our orcas. So there is no breeding of orcas anywhere in the United States of America. So, and it takes all the power away from NOAA fisheries. And there is hope for sanctuaries for these orcas in the United States of America. So please, there's so much at stake in November of 2024, but this is about orcas in captivity. So if you're anti-captivity, please vote for the Democrat running for the House of Representatives in your district. Unless, of course, you want to hear about, Kalia getting accidentally pregnant and this thing just never ending and no sanctuaries ever built. Thank you so much for watching, for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye.